Hi, my name is Vajnath, and in this short training session we are going to learn how to create CSR, or also called as Certificate Signing Request on Netscaler appliance. Before we go ahead and demonstrate that in my lab, just wanted to give an overview of my environment. As you can see that the base operating system is Windows 7, on which I have installed VMware Workstation, which is type 2 hypervisor, and on my VMware Workstation I have hosted Zen server, which is a type 1 hypervisor, and on my Zen server I have hosted my Netscaler VPX. To access my Zen server, I hosted Windows 7 client on my VMware Workstation. So from a VMware Workstation I can access my Zen server. So to access my Zen server, I am using a Zen Center client through which I can manage my hosts which are hosted on my Zen server. So as you can see that Netscaler VPX is hosted on Zen server, and to access this Netscaler I'm going to open a web browser and type in the URL of the Netscaler, which is 10.0.0.100, and I should be get the prompt to login. Yes, the default username and password for the Netscaler is nsroot. So I'll just type in nsroot. So once I'm authenticated, I will be redirected to configuration page. On the left hand side you can see that it shows Netscaler VPX. So the VPX, it denotes it's a virtual appliance, and also on the right hand side you can see it shows the Netscaler build is 10.1 124.13. and coming to the license, I have installed evaluation license on this device. So to validate the license of the appliance, you can navigate to systems, licenses. As you can see that most of the features on this Netscaler appliance are already been licensed, and we need to make sure that SSL offloading feature has been licensed to work with certificates on the device. So everything looks good on this appliance. So let's go ahead and create a CSR. To create a CSR, select Traffic Manager, and you need to select SSL folder. So on the right hand side you can see there are multiple options. So to go ahead and create a CSR, the first thing we need to create a private key. So let me just go ahead and create a private key. To create a private key, I'm going to select Create CSR Key. So I'll get a pop-up to fill those informations. The name of my key would be my private key dot key, and the size I'm going to give that as a default, not the default, a standard size at 2048, and the key format would be PEM, and just go ahead and select OK. Once you select OK, you can see that RSA key has been created. So once the key is generated, you can just go ahead and create a CSR. To create a CSR, under SSL certificates, select Create CSR, and you can give any name. I'll give my request.csr, and I can browse to the private key which I have just created. That's my private key which I have just created. Select the private key, and the key format would be either PEM or DER based on the key which you have generated, and the country would be India, and the state KA, which is Karnataka, and the organization name, which is in my case it would be home, city Bangalore, email ID it@home.local, organization unit IT, and the common name will be www.myhome.local, and select OK. Before I select OK, just wanted to make sure that the mandatory field here with the asterisk, country, state, and the organization name. I'm going to select OK now, and here you can see that SSL CSR has been created. So once the CSR has been created, you need to download that to your local machine. To download your CSR to your local machine, under Tools there is an option called as Manage Certificate and Keys. Select this, and there is an Java applet that you need to allow. I'm going to allow it. So once your Java applet is popped up, you can see all the list of certificates which are available on your device. So you need to select the certificate or the CSR which you have just created, and you can download it to a local machine. You can browse it and download it to a local machine here. I'll download that to my desktop. Select and close this. So once that is done, now you can see that the certificate or the CSR has been downloaded to your desktop. Now you can send this CSR to your third-party CA vendor who will use this CSR to generate a certificate for you. Also, in a case if you wanted to validate the information of this CSR, you can go to Systems, Diagnostics, Command Line, and in the command line you can see that at this prompt, which is a greater than prompt, you need to type in shell to get into the shell of the Netscaler. And once you get into the shell of the Netscaler, most of the certificate or all the certificates of the Netscaler are located under cd/nsconfig/ssl. So this is the path where all the certificate of the Netscalers are located. So to list all the certificate, I'll just type in ls-ltr, and as you can see that the new CSR which I have created is in the bottom. It's my request.csr. It's also listing my private key, which is my private key.key. So to get the brief overview of my CSR, like what is there in my CSR, I can just type in OpenSSL command. So OpenSSL is integrated on the Netscaler FreeBSD. So when I type shell and I can see an asterisk sign or hash sign over there, that denotes that I am into the shell of my FreeBSD. So I can type OpenSSL request-in and my request name, my request.csr, no out in text. So let me scroll up here and see the information. So you can see that the subject, country India, state that's Karnataka, Bangalore, home, that's an organization unit as an IT, and the common name it's www.myhome.local. So once I validate that all the information looks good, I should be good to submit this request to a third-party vendor, or I can create my own certificate. I hope this video was informative, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.